And here we are, flying the F-5A. I was doing a little bit of grinding for the Hornet that just dropped. Last teammate just crashed, and it's going to be now 1v5 versus an F-5C, an F-5E, another F-5C, and an F-5A Thailand along with an A-10. And this is going to be a rather amusing match. There's going to be a lot of me running away, and there's going to be a lot of them missing their shots, which makes it all the funnier. But luckily, we're going to be winning this. Somehow. I'm not quite sure how, but we're going to be winning. So we start off just running away, trying to get some distance. I want to isolate the fights if I can, but at the end of the day there's too many of them, and I'm kind of forced to do something because the A-10 is ground striking, and that means I'm going to be losing the match if I don't kill him. F-5C gives me a large broadside, I miss it, and we go head on with the F-5A, and we crit him. Remember that for later, because that's going to be quite helpful. And now we're just going to be flying towards the A-10 that's in the middle of the map. Is this the correct thing to do? In hindsight, maybe not, because there's too many other people around and they are all quite capable of killing me. But I was pretty much on the clock about losing to tickets, and I really didn't want that to happen, so we're going to go for the A-10. I go sideways here a little bit. I wanted him to go for the ground targets, but he doesn't do that, and instead he goes for the full commit head-on, and I'm not taking that, not with an A-10, so we just dodge, and we're going to continue extending away. The F-5C is right on my ass, the F-5A that's crit is slightly behind him, and the F-5E has sodded off to the other side of the map, which is fine, because it means I don't have to worry about him right now. But I really want this A-10 dead, and I'm going to be focusing on him, even though it's probably not the correct thing to do. So we're going to be dodging the F-5C, we dodged the F-5A as well. I know both of these guys have used their missiles already, I'm pretty sure. I'm pre-flaring anyway, and we're just going to, well, shoot the A-10 there. Take his plane apart a little bit. He's going to be crashing from that later on, but he is basically out the match for now. And the F-5C gets on my ass at about 380 meters, 400 meters. And I'm kind of forced to just neg G, dodge around, left, right, roll, and hope that he doesn't hit me, because I really can't do anything in this situation. I have 3 people on my ass, 2 of them are in the same plane, and 1 is in a plane that completely outperforms me, so I really just have to wait for them to do something, wait for them to get bored, wait for them to either shoot me down, or just kind of dodge around in their guns for the rest of the time, and that's exactly what we're going to be doing. We're simply going to be running around in their face, and they're going to be missing every single shot until one of them finally gets bored, and he's going to be leaving. So we just dodge around, put the smoke on as well, because it's going to make me harder to see, and they're going to have to look through the smoke to get lead on me, rather, I guess. And there goes one F5 already, he's broken off. He's seemingly pretty low on fuel. And another guy's going to be breaking off really soon, and you're going to be seeing the downside of running a lower fuel load than 30 minutes in your F5. And I do run 30 minutes in this thing. I've had experiences where I haven't had enough fuel, and I prefer to take a little bit more, despite, I guess, the lowered performance. But both F5s have now sodded off, and that means I can either A, 1v1 the F5 that is right behind me, but he has the F5 that we crit earlier right behind him about 5 kilometers away, and if I start a fight with the F5E now, I'm probably going to get third-partied by the time I get a gun solution on him. But luckily for me, he breaks off. So we're going to be turning round. I was going to go for the F5E at this point, but he is hauling ass, and he's going to be going RTB, so instead we're going to go ahead on with the F5A, take a fat burst, and he's going to be disintegrating right in front of my face. So now we're going to be going RTB, so are they, and we're going to be grabbing some more missiles and ammunition, along with, most importantly, fuel. And here we are, mid-map again, refueled, rearmed, and there's a blind hunt popped on me, unfortunately, but the F5C shows up high, so I start to turn in towards him, and then the F5E pops up low. So I have 2 options now. I either go for the F5C, give the F5E my ass, or I turn in for the head-on with the F5E and give the F5C my ass, and I choose that option. We go for a head-on, fire a long burst, and then that guy doesn't dodge the recommit, and he's going to be getting sent straight back to the hangar. Things could have turned out pretty differently if I didn't hit him in the head-on there, but luckily for me, I actually did manage to shoot him down. So we're going to be flaring the AIM-9E, flare the other AIM-9E, and I airbroke and cut the burner way too much here. I should just have throttled down a little bit so that we got closer, but it doesn't matter. He overshoots and he misses, and I'm firmly planted on his 6, so I'm just going to be putting the nose down, and we're going to be grabbing some speed. I want this guy to engage me on his terms, rather, because I don't want him to run away, and I've had people do that before, where they just run away for the entire rest of the game, especially when they have a ticket advantage. So we're just going to be going straight, picking up some speed. he turns around and he clearly wants to engage me, so we're going to make the shot as difficult as possible, going to go under his nose, and then he simply gives me a free kill by turning directly in front of my face, which is fine by me, but considering he's in the same plane as I am, and he's got the same performance, he could literally have done anything else and had a better chance at survival. Instead, he turns directly in front of me, we get him crit, and then we blast both his wings off, and that's going to be game. Not so much a skilled 1v5, I guess. Of course, there is some skill required, I guess, to some extent, but it's more just the enemy through the match. And that's what a lot of these games are nowadays, unfortunately. But anyway, that's going to be it. Just wanted to make some kind of commentary content for once, and I thought this was a decent opportunity to do that. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys around.